What's possibly the best feature that Madden is improving on that should be helping out EA College Football 24? If you guess something other than AI improvements, well, let's be honest, you might be right, but that's not what this video is about. I honestly believe the key feature that will help out EA College Football 24 is an improved AI. Let's talk about some of the areas it could affect. In an article dating back to April by Fortune, EA Sports Vice President Sean Ramjagsingh, I hope I'm saying that right, told Fortune the extra computing power of the new consoles unlocks extra abilities for us from a development perspective, and between what's happening with the capturing of real-world data and the way data is being leveraged now to drive different technologies, there are a lot of opportunities for us moving forward. Now, what does that mean? I think you've already started to see it with next-gen player movement and next-gen stats and tracking, affecting a lot of areas of gameplay within Madden, like receivers route running or just the general movement of the players. Now, as much as we hate that animation-based gameplay, it should help that out a little bit. Then you've got Senior Game Design Director Connor Dugan, who also said this: there's so much cool data that we can use to make the most realistic representations. For example, the Baltimore Ravens use a pistol formation compared to the San Francisco 49ers, who get rid of the ball quick and have lots of motion in the pre-play. We use that data to model our play calling. Now, can they implement that on a large scale with 100+ teams in college football right away? Probably not, let's be honest. But I do think that's going to help it going forward, and as they iterate on that game year after year, teams are going to start to feel more and more like their teams. Wouldn't it be nice to see CPU teams run more than a handful of plays from their playbook? That's what we're headed towards, I hope. I mean, how many times have you seen the CPU in Madden on offense audible out of a play, you audible on defense, they audible back to their original play, and then you audible and they snap it anyway and just run the play they were going to run to begin with? There's no logic there. That's got to improve. Now, situational awareness should also improve. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. CPU's got all 3 timeouts. They're on their own 40-yard line. Driving. Clock's ticking. Real team, real world, might take a timeout before the 2-minute warning just to get one in, save some time, run a few plays before you hit that 2-minute mark. Teams in Madden? No. They're not taking a timeout until they get to about a minute left. Every time, without fail, you will never see a CPU with that kind of situational awareness in today's game. Maybe this AI improvement can help with that. Let's hope. Get some more variations in there. It will go a long way towards realism and making you immersed in the experience of an NFL game. And if you can do that in the NFL game, you bring it over to college. And what really excites me about an improved AI is when you get to an area of the gameplay, which is the player's tendencies when it comes to play calling and when it comes to deciphering what you're doing at a higher efficiency. So this is CPU defense, recognizing that you're calling flats or you're calling slants all game and just burning them over and over again. And when we go into college football, it's going to be people abusing the option or people scrambling with that quarterback, which was sort of the meta for college football. If you had a fast quarterback, you could pretty much do what you wanted. I want the CPU to recognize that, to say, hey, for a whole quarter, we've been getting ran on all game by the quarterback. Let's set up contain. Let's take that away. Force them to play a different style of ball. With improved AI, that should be a possibility. Now let's take it over to recruiting. We've seen how bad Madden is when it comes to free agents, when it comes to the draft. Teams with superstar quarterbacks. I just drafted Trevor Lawrence. Oh, well, let's take a quarterback the next year in the top 5. No. Or free agents. How many times have you seen 2 superstar quarterbacks, young superstar quarterbacks with huge contracts on the same team in Madden? Recruiting can't be like this. And if NIL's involved, if we're getting that deep in, we've got transfer portal, it's a big area that's going to need a lot of focus. PS, please give us a difficulty slider for recruiting. Or I'm going to throw this in here for good measure. Maybe EA could steal that 2K feature from back in the day where there were user profiles that tracked your tendencies and you could load them onto other teams and play against those tendencies. Imagine if you could do that for other teams, load them up into your dynasties and play against that. Bottom line is, if you have all this capability for improved AI, put it to work. There are plenty of areas where you can apply that. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope EA does it. Now, if you were EA, where would you focus the AI improvements on? Would you focus it on recruiting, gameplay, or somewhere else? Let me know down in the comments, and hey, subscribe and stick with me for the rest of the EA college football news that's coming out in the next year, because there's going to be a lot of it. And I'm going to be here. See you then. Go Bucks.